dirt road too old. I don't nothing got a deed to the land, but it ain't my ground. This is God's country. We pray for rain and thank Him when it's falling, 'cause it brings a grain.
guys.
Money, we put it back in the plate. I guess that's why they call it God's country. I saw the light in the sunrise, sitting back in the 40 on a muddy riverside, getting baptized in holy water and shine with the dogs running. Saved by the sound of the being found, Dixie whistle in the wind that'll get you heaven bound. The devil went down to Georgia, but he didn't stick around. This is God's country. We turn to dirt and work until the week's done. We take a break and break bread on Sunday, then do it all again, 'cause we're proud to be from God's country. I saw the light in the sunrise, sitting back in the 40 on a muddy riverside, getting baptized in holy water and shine with the dogs running. Saved by the sound of the being found, Dixie whistle in the wind that'll get you heaven bound. The devil went down to Georgia, but he didn't stick around.
Oh my God!
This is God's country. I don't care what my headstone reads or what kind of wood box they end up in. When it's my time, leave me 6 feet deep in God's country.
Pretty much what we're doing here is we're glassing this whole hillside here. The reason we're doing that is there's areas of the mountainside that's aspens, and during the day the elk like to go in there and they feed. It's a lot cooler, there's a lot more grassy areas in there because the dark timber doesn't let a lot of light shining, so the aspens allow enough light to come in there where there's a lot more greener grass. So during the day that's where like the elk like to feed. Lately they've been quiet, they haven't been bugling yet. They won't start bugling until the leaves start changing colors. Pretty much what we're doing here is we can actually glass, and if you go really slowly and pan the hillside softly, you can kind of veer and see through the aspens, and if there are elk in there, you'll be able to see them moving. So it takes a lot of time to glass. We'll sit here for 30 minutes and we'll glass the same area, just kind of see if there's anything in that area moving. So like right now we're focusing on this area here on the side of the hill, and actually up on top here is where I shot my bull last year. It was on its way down through the dark timber heading toward the aspens to feed. So that's kind of what we're doing right now, is glassing these aspens, trying to see if we can see any type of movement whatsoever. And hopefully we see some stuff.
Well, the boys decided to move down on the other side of the valley, and kind of glanced the hill where they were just at. Well, to their surprise, there was a herd of elk.
Okay, guys, just for all of you guys watching at home, so we spotted some elk up here on the side of the mountain here. There's we can spot 5 right now, and there's one big one. You see that little blue pine tree there above the elk? There's one right up top there. We think that's the big bull.
Hey guys, so pretty much today what we're gonna do, we're still scouting out. Season actually doesn't start till Saturday. So what we're doing today is we're gonna go to the spot where we spotted the elk last night. It's quite a hike, but we're gonna go up there and place a trail camera and see what kind of signs we see if we can figure out where they went, try to find a water source that we can find to possibly hunt these. And you know, if we can figure out where they're trying to bed down at night, where they're going during the day, where they're feeding, that's just going to better our chances here come Saturday. So as you can tell, right now we're in a pretty big large valley. We're going to head up these slopes here, and we're going to get up there and put some cameras up there. It's about 1,000 feet in elevation where we're going from where we're at right now, so it's going to be a pretty decent hike. But other than that, we got to cross this creek somehow. Pretty cool, pretty good beaver dam. Check it out, beaver dam here. But yep. So we're going up the hill, but this is probably one of the coolest parts of where we hunt, this valley here. You know, I mean, just look at that view back there. Freaking beautiful. Well, we'll see you guys soon.
This episode is brought to you by Antler Ice. Stop some cold.
A little chilly up here in the mountain. It's like 52 degrees. But the sun's coming up now. It's warming up. We got our friends John, Dave coming up to visit us at our little campsite here.
What's going on, guys? So after 3 days of being out here, we've been scouting, we've been setting up trail cameras, we've been getting a game plan set up, looking over our maps. We know where we want to go, we know where we're going to head. We got about a 3-mile hike to where we're going to set up our secondary camp, which is going to have 2 single-man tents and our sleeping systems covered with a tarp, hidden in with a brush. That's where we're going to set up our secondary camp. It's going to have some extra water there. Then from there, we're going to have another hike to where we're actually going to hunt. So we're looking at about 8 miles from this camp here of where we're going to hunt down these bulls. We've got all the intel that we've gathered here in the past few days since we've been out here. We have a 400 class bull with 100 cows out there. It was spotted there a couple weeks ago. It hasn't had any pressure. No one's hunting that area, so we believe it's still there. There's a water source there. There's aspens for the grass to be growing, like we mentioned earlier on in the episode. And we know that this bull's got to be in that area somewhere. So we're getting ready to head out tonight. It's about 5 o'clock right now. We're going to get to where we want to go. We're going to check some of the trail cams on the way. Then we're going to be out there. Crazy stuff about Colorado muzzleloader hunting. So we're going to be using our Remington 700 muzzleloader. In Colorado, you cannot use a optic that telescopes. You cannot use it. So it's open sights only here, so it's a little bit more of a challenge. But this bad boy here, with all the attachments we've had, we went and got a brand new bolt. She's good to about 300, 400 yards. Here, where we're actually hunting, you're going to be lucky if you see a bull farther than 200 yards with a clean shot. So we're going to be getting in close to these things. Hopefully we can get you guys some awesome footage of these bulls in action. If we can get one on a wallow and get to see how these things act when they're covering themselves up, that's going to be awesome. So that's it, and hopefully we'll be giving you guys some pretty awesome updates.
there's a wallow right here with 100 beds. And over 100 beds we counted this morning. That wallow was hit last night. The water was still wet on the surrounding area. But whatever's coming is bugled twice now. It's coming this way.
All right, well, it's definitely an eventful first day. We started out our hike this morning, kicked out a bunch of mule deer, made our way down one ridge, and then started to work our way down into some aspens where on my maps I could see that there is a large opening of the meadow, and according to all of our scouting, we believe that there is going to be some elk down there. Got down there and found over 100 beds, so we're pretty sure that's where the big herd was at last night. There was a wallow that was just hit either this morning or last night, so we knew we were right there where we wanted to be. About 6 o'clock we waited there, 6 o'clock p.m. We could hear bugling coming in, and it got closer and closer, then it just cut off, died. Then we started making the hike back, which was, we had to go up 2,000 feet up, almost straight up to back up to the ridge line, and we started making our way back out, and then it got really crazy. So we're looking down the path, and I stopped my cameraman Ethan here, and I'm like, dude, I see eyes. And I turn my bright beam on, and sure as heck, man, they're red eyes. Cat, mountain lion. This thing starts coming toward us. We both pull out our pistols. We fire 2 rounds, hopefully to scare this thing. It takes off to the left. We're making noise now. We're screaming, hollering, trying to make ourselves bigger than what we are. Get out to the meadow, and he's out in the meadow waiting for us, sitting up on top. We're like, okay, it's about to get real. So he starts coming back around. We're like, all right, we need to get back onto this, pop another round off, and try to scare this thing away. Luckily, he went off down over the woods. There's definitely a little bit more excitement than what we wanted to. So we made back to our small camp here. Our main camp's still 3 miles that way, but we're starting a fire, and hopefully nothing comes back. So it's been about an hour. We haven't seen the cat, but we're hoping he's gone. So that was the first day. It's almost like a goat path of a real bummer. So we got into this spot down here, and I started calling in, answering back. So it's either a hunter or it's a bull. Well, we got closer and closer, and then it came back from around us. And the last I heard a bugle, it was all the way this way. Now I was facing this way, waiting and waiting. I'm looking down this path. My cameraman goes, "Psst." Turn my head. It's standing right up on this ledge over here. There's a ledge up there, but damn pine tree right there. I couldn't even see his head. Then I seen him stick his head out. By the time he stuck his head out, he was already making his way back on the other side. Couldn't even get a shot of him. He was a big one. Big one. Even got a decent shot of it on camera, but we were waiting for this thing to come up the other side. He came in from behind us. So we're going to go walk and see how he even snuck in behind us. It's crazy. 1,000-pound animal. He doesn't make any noise in the woods, but a freaking squirrel. He won't shut up. Alright guys, here's a little update. Our buddy Dave shot a nice bull over here, so we're going to go in there and we're going to help him pack it out, help him quarter it out and all that, and bring it back. So we'll see how big this bull is here in a little bit. Dave is now performing open heart surgery. Well, our friend Dave here got a
Nice 5x5. Get in there, Dave. Look at that. Good job, Dave.
Yeah, thank you. Several days in the making.
If you don't know, Dave is well past 60 here, and he's still getting out here.
64.
64, and he's still getting out here, putting them knoll down.
Yeah, I'm happy with him. He's not the biggest, but I'm still happier now with him.
There you go.
Well, it's the last day of hunting here. It's Sunday morning. Had some thunderstorms last night. We're way up high right now. Just about 11,600 feet. The clouds are actually starting to drop down to where we're sitting. It's kind of cool. But we're hoping we can get something here in the last couple hours. It's very quiet here in the woods. Everything's calm. It's a perfect morning for hiking up here because everything was still wet. There was like zero noise when you were walking. So hopefully we can connect on a bull these last couple hours. Basically what we're gonna do. We've seen a lot of signs of elk up here in this meadow this morning. A lot of crossings, a lot of fresh scrapes, a lot of rubs, a lot of fresh. We think the elk are coming down off Engineer Mountain here, crossing this meadow to their bedding area, which we found over there. So we're gonna try to intercept them as they're on their way to their bedding area. We got about an hour, 2 hours before we start making our way down. So hopefully we can capitalize today, get a big bull down. Well, our cameraman Ethan here was able to fill his tag here. Got a little 2x2 muley last day of hunting, so at least we had a successful day. How you feel there, bud?
Pretty good. This is some meat in a crock pot.
There you go. There you go. Well, good job, buddy.
Thank
Well, as the sun sets on our last day here in Colorado, we're not going home with an elk. That's not what hunting is all about, you know. It's about the experiences that you make, the memories, and all the things that you learn while you're out. It would be nice to be going home with an elk, but you know, our cameraman's going home with a mule deer. Our friend Dave, he's going home with an elk, and our friend Ron got an elk. So the trip itself was an overall success, but we learned a lot. Some key points that we learned on this trip out here was we got to see how herd bulls act within their herds. Got to see the lead cow of a herd and how she goes out and kind of scouts for the bull. So we didn't get the chance to see any of that action the last few times we were out in Colorado here. But this time around, we got to see new stuff. We explored new territory, so you know, now my knowledge of the area has broadened, which is always good. Now I feel confident going into a completely different area than what I'm used to hunt. So it's the sun's setting here quick. I'm starting to get a little chilly. We have a quite long drive home, so we hope you guys enjoy this episode. And remember one thing: it doesn't matter if you harvest an animal. It's about the experiences and the memories and just the fun of being out here in the great outdoors. We'll see you guys next time.